Hello, my name is Rachel and welcome to my first YouTube video. I apologize if it's clunky and maybe there's some times I don't know what I'm doing or saying, but I appreciate you being here. I'm a part-time reseller on eBay and the Poshmark app, and I'm starting this YouTube channel because I just want to document my journey, and maybe you'll learn something from it. Maybe you'll laugh at how ridiculous I am sometimes, and maybe there's someone out there that just needs a little nudge to start their own journey, and hopefully I can help in that. So a little about myself. I grew up in Northern California. I moved down to San Diego, or went to school at San Diego State University. I got my degree in business management and then moved back up to Northern California, not with my parents. And then got married to my husband, Andrew. We have a 1.5-year-old daughter, Brooklyn. But shortly after I moved up here, I started working professionally in supply chain. So I've done all things, supply chain related, logistics, production planning, sales and operations planning, implementation. I'm currently doing demand planning at a large packaging company where they don't have a model or tool to be able to do customer forecasting. And so I'm building that tool, I'm building that model, I'm doing a lot of analytics, and I plan to use a lot of what I'm doing there here with my business as a reseller. And I would love to share that with you, maybe in a different video if that's of interest to any of you. But I really do like looking at numbers. I'm numbers driven. I let the data tell me what's going well and what isn't, instead of kind of a gut feeling. I think that's just really important to kind of check yourself. And so I'll share all of those different things with you as I go through my journey. So how did I get started on this journey? So I have always been an entrepreneur. I have these crazy, ridiculous ideas that I've shared with people that think that some are crazy silly. I've had a whiskey idea that I still would love to do. Don't know if it's ever gonna happen. But this was kind of the first feasible idea that made sense and didn't cost a lot of capital to start. So I was doing Etsy. I think in 2014, late 2014, I started making and selling things on Etsy. So I would do pillowcases and cupcake wrappers, which I still have on my Etsy shop, just leftovers of kind of some of the things that I've made throughout the years. And I just realized that wasn't scalable. I wasn't able to make enough product to be able to turn enough inventory to make enough revenue. So I was really looking for something that would make me more money. And I started looking at hard goods at thrift stores. So I'd go to thrift stores, look in the hard goods section. If I thought that there was something interesting or unique, I'd pick it up, and then I'd sell that on Etsy. And it had to be vintage, because on Etsy it has to be vintage or handmade. And so I was selling these vintage things that I thought would make me some money, a couple bucks. And I found that I was actually turning inventory faster, and I was creating higher profit margins as well. And it wasn't taking me nearly as much time. So I really was doing that for a few years, just on the side. Just, occasionally I'd go to a thrift store, find something, throw it on Etsy. I'd get a few sales a month. It wasn't anything that was crazy, but it was more than what I was doing with my handmade stuff that, I'd get a few dollars on per sale. So after that, when I went on maternity leave with my daughter, Brooklyn, I really started thinking about how can I do something more than what I'm doing now. My job itself, I make good money. It's provides for our family. It's great. However, it's just, was never something I was in love with. And so I really started looking at other ways that I could do more income, get more income on the side of my full-time job. And so I was watching all kinds of videos and found, came across, I think Empty Hanger was my first YouTube video series that I just watched everything, because she was so informative on clothing brands and different things. And so for me, I was really searching for something different. When I learned about clothes, in sourcing clothing, I'd never really thought about it before. I was never really thinking about secondhand items, but I really started loving watching all these videos and learning all the different brands. I mean, I must have spent countless hours as I was just like huge and pregnant on the couch trying to learn how to make more money. And I'm just so... It was so interesting to me. And so I learned everything that I could. And I was like, I can't wait to have this kid so I can just go out, you know, have a sitter, my mom or a family member, watch my daughter while I could just go out and see what I could find. And that's exactly what I did. So I learned a ton of brands. I watched countless hours, went out. And it was so funny. I would even, no matter what I was doing, if I found a brand that I knew, I got all excited. And it was like, you know, in the beginning, I was grabbing everything. Obviously, I made mistakes. I still make a ton of mistakes, but it was really, really exciting. It's like a treasure hunt. You're looking for things that you think other people are going to want to buy. And so that was really fun for me. Even just that part, sourcing, was so exciting. And I really loved that. And I couldn't wait to like get out and do it again. And of course, you know, everybody talks about their death pile. Currently, I have a giant death pile. We'll get into that later in different videos. But it's just something I love shopping. And so it feeds that like need to shop. But also you're turning a profit on it and assuming it sells, of course, but you're turning a profit on it. And so I'm making money doing something that I love doing, which is shopping. And I think that everyone can do it. Of course, it depends on the disposable income that you have or how you start doing it. I've heard of a lot of people that just start in their own closets. My closet's a disaster right now, so I don't even want to look at it. But I started with just taking some money and sourcing at thrift stores. And unfortunately, I don't have thrift stores that have deeply discounted pricing. So my Goodwill, I mean, jeans are always $10. Tops are typically $7. So I don't have, you know, I see a lot of YouTubers who have these deeply discounted thrift stores near them where it's, you know, $2 a day, $1 a day. Unfortunately, I don't have that where I live. But because of my full-time job, I've been able to support myself in starting this other business. And of course, there are a ton of different ways to start. And I'm not saying that the way I did it is the right way. But so far it has worked and it's really exciting. And sometimes when I start something, I go really hard. So I have so much inventory, and I'll talk about a little bit, you know, how I ended this year and what my inventory status is like for starting 2021. But that's kind of how I got to where I am today. And what I really want to do is ideally, I'm going to grow this business to be my full-time job. That's what I want to do. And so this is kind of my, you know, documenting my journey to be able to do that. And we'll see if I can do it. I absolutely want to try, and fingers crossed that it works out. So what you can expect in my videos is I plan on doing a lot of thrift hauls, a lot of I'll share all of my cost of goods. I'll be extremely transparent on how much I'm making, what fees I'm paying, what I'm actually taking in my pocket. I plan on sharing a what sold video each week, and I can also share on any type of data points or analytics that may be of interest to you. And if you want to hear, you know, specific information, if there's any questions that you have that you want to learn, or I can dive into Excel, whatever it is that you want to hear that maybe I can offer, I'm happy to help. And if not, if you don't think I can provide you with anything and you're just listening, maybe in the background somewhere, thank you so much. This is just, really exciting to me. And I hope I can use YouTube to maybe influence someone else to, push them to go for their dreams, whether it's reselling or, anything else, whatever it is, you can make it happen if you put the time into it. And I am a huge believer in that. Okay, so to recap, 2020 real quick so you can kind of see where I ended 2020, and I'll also talk about where I'm starting with 2021. My total gross sales across Etsy, eBay, and Poshmark, and Etsy is just, you know, some leftover handmade things. I'm starting to post some of my vintage clothing items onto Etsy. But anyways, across the 3 platforms for 2020, my total gross sales were $15,181.28. That doesn't include any fees. My cost of goods were $2,538.41. My posting fees, mostly on Etsy, were $114.79. And then my shipping fees were $2,587.13, which makes my gross profit $9,940.95. So almost $10,000 extra profit in my pocket at the end of 2020. What that doesn't take out, and the reason why I say it's gross profit is because you also have to consider taxes. So I take a portion of that out for taxes and set it aside. At this point, I'm taking 30% of my gross profit out because I don't know how much I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna work with a CPA and understand all those costs and whatnot. However, I did 30% to be safe, and that's what I take out. So that gives me a net profit of $6,958.67 in 2020. Obviously, that is not enough to take care of my family and quit my full-time job and become a full-time reseller. So, you know, we'll kind of document that as we go and see what happens. And hopefully I can scale it enough so that I can quit my job and become a full-time reseller. But that's where I'm at. And that's full visibility into my business where it stands. Today, going into 2021. So I have 782 listings available. All those are on Poshmark. Majority are on eBay. I think I have a little over 500 posted on eBay right now. There are some items in the beginning when I was posting on Poshmark that I'm just kind of leaving on Poshmark, but I don't want to pay the insertion fees to put them on eBay at this point. So I'm just leaving them on Poshmark and trying to sell through them. So the cost of those items is $4,632.45 that I have sitting in inventory in my garage. Which puts my average cost of goods at $5.16, which is actually lower than I would have thought because I don't have a lot of lower priced items. Of course, going to garage sales and estate sales, and if you can find some, you know, sometimes there's at Goodwill there are like t-shirts that are $3, which brings that cost of goods down. So I'm happy with $5.16 an item. And I also have a major death pile in my garage. So outside of that $4,600 that I have posted sitting in my garage, I probably have $3,000 or $4,000 of my own money, cash, sitting in inventory, not posted in my garage. So I literally probably have twice as much inventory as I have posted. So I have a huge project, obviously, of posting and getting those all up. And it's really exciting because the more that you do it, the more that you learn the brands and the more that you get better at finding different things and looking at the data to understand what brands sell best for you. So it's been a wild ride so far, and it's very exciting. My husband's been totally getting on board with sourcing with me, but it's just adding to the death pile because, of course, I'm the only one listing. So, but it's really exciting for our family and we're having a lot of fun with it. Anyways, if you've made it this far, I appreciate your time and I thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. Hang in there with me if you want. If you have any questions or if you have any recommendations on content that you'd like to listen to or hear, just put a comment below. I'd be happy to put out whatever you're looking for. Anyways, thank you so much for your time and I appreciate you being here. Well, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.